Welcome back to Hardball. The former IMF chief, Frenchman Dominique Strauss-Kahn, is under house arrest in downtown Manhattan, accused of sexually assaulting a hotel maid in Manhattan. So what's next in this case? And what could the French banker expect from a New York jury? That's my favorite question. Jonathan Dienst is WNBC investigative reporter, and Susan Filan is a former prosecutor at MSNBC Senior Legal Analyst. Thank you both for coming. I want Jonathan and then Susan to basically lay it on the line here. This is an adult show. As graphically as you can, Jonathan, what is this guy accused of doing in that hotel room? What did he do?
He's accused of grabbing this maid while naked, dragging her down a hallway, and forcing her to perform a sex act, an oral sex act. And the police and investigators today revealed that they have DNA evidence and that there is a DNA match from that maid's blouse, from her shirt, that matches the DNA of Strauss-Kahn that he voluntarily offered. And we're told there's additional DNA testing going on now from other liquids, materials, evidence found in that hotel room, and that preliminary results are in, but they're waiting for some more results. So none of this good news for Dominique Strauss-Kahn, as prosecutors have him charged with forcible sex act and attempted rape.
Jonathan, just to get this as clear as possible so everybody understands the crime charge here and what the punishment would be. If this was something that was done in Grand Central Station before thousands of people, Jane Doe having done to her by John Doe, what would be the criminal penalty if this person was clearly guilty?
Maximum on the sex abuse count is 25 years. Maximum on the attempted rape is 15 years. And there are other counts that are 7 years. And a misdemeanor count as well in there, that's 1 year. So the range is anywhere from 1 year if it's just the misdemeanor charge, all the way up to 25 years as a maximum.
What's this misdemeanor piece of this?
The misdemeanor charge is sexual abuse in the third degree, the forcible touching. There's allegations that during this attack that he forcibly touched parts of her body.
That's all additive, though. You're adding it all up. You're not saying it's one or the other.
I'm not saying
this adds up to how many years? About 30-some?
The prosecutors basically say, given these 7, they could add it all up and have it run consecutively. So you're looking at dozens and dozens of years, not just the maximum 25.
Susan, it's good to have you back. Give me any modification you might want to offer in that this is a serious felony, that if it can be proven, this guy faces serious prison.
You're right. I mean, this is about as serious as it gets. It's an attempted forcible rape. That's attempted sexual contact by force, or intercourse by force. It's also forcible oral sex. And that's just not pretty any way you look at it. Jonathan's right about the time. 25 years each. That's 2 counts of forced oral sex. So that's 50 years if you run that consecutive. Plus the attempted rape, that's 15. So that's 65 right there that he's looking at. If he were to take this to jury, lose at trial, be convicted of the 3 top counts, and have the maximum sentences run consecutively, Chris.
Susan, you at first here, knowing what you know of juries and their behavior, wouldn't this be seen by a jury of regular people, say a few maids, perhaps, a few cab drivers, a few regular people, perhaps business people, regular New Yorkers with a New York attitude about this kind of a situation? Wouldn't this guy have a very hard time getting any sympathy?
Well, we don't know what his defense is going to be yet. And we don't know. I mean, he's tried a couple of them. He's tried alibi. He's tried conspiracy. He's tried consent. We're waiting to hear some results back from DNA to see if there's a compilation of both saliva and semen in the same DNA sample. That would be quite damning for DSK, unless he's going to go with a straight consent.
Why would that be damning? Explain it, if you can, why the combination of those 2 fluids would be damning, particularly.
Saliva and semen together is going to prove that there was a mouth on a penis. Okay,
gotcha. Okay, let me get back. Jonathan, let me ask you about this thing. What's this word that this arrogant interior minister over in France says, oh, we'll jail him over here in France? If the crime's committed here, it's a local crime. What right would they have to grab him back into their world?
They wouldn't. And New York officials sort of laughed at that suggestion today, basically saying exactly what you said, Chris. If there's a crime in New York, he's prosecuted and convicted, he would have to serve time here in New York if convicted. And this is, again, the state system. This is not club fed, that you're talking Dannemora upstate. You're talking serious jail time if he gets sentenced to prison. Now, remember, the defense has said, look, we have a defensible case here, and they've sort of clamped down since floating some initial maybe consensual.
By the way, that's what they would say. Thank you. I know what you have to do. You deny everything, but this guy has got problems. Thank you so much, Jonathan Dienst. Thank you, Susan.